Oh my goodness. And there it is. Wow, gets it in to go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the second and final round of match play at the PWBA International Bowling Campus Classic from the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. This is part of the Summer Classic Series, the second of 3 national tour events, 4 events overall. We had an exciting, interesting, and just back and forth opening round of match play earlier today. But the story continues to be Stephanie Zavala, the 2-time champion, a PWBA Tour rookie as well this year, went 6-0, undefeated in the first round. She has built up a pretty nice lead heading into these final 6 games, up by nearly 120 pins on second place, which is Verity Crawley, who's also won a title this year, looking to make her second consecutive show here at the Summer Classic Series. Our competitors have their warm-up in. We've started off our match play rounds as well, so kicking things off here on 5 and 6, we got Brianna Cote versus Stephanie Schwartz, and then Zavala, our tournament leader, taking on Danielle McEwen. So with that, they're going to get into this first game. Bonus pins up for grabs. We'll talk about the top 12 format looking ahead. Of course, the stepladder final tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. But first, let's bring in the one, the only, from the ITRC. He's got the best seat in the house, folks. Curtis Von Kruger.
And the excitement builds. I'm ready to go. This is my favorite, and I will continue to drive this point home until all bowling is match play bowling. That might be unrealistic and probably not the greatest way to decide a title, but gosh darn it, I'm all for it. We have final match play round right now, 6 games to glory, 5 games, and then the position round, where anything can happen, and often everything does happen. So a little bit of a rundown. Danielle McEwen really made the hard charge last. I mean, obviously, Stephanie Zavala, she's doing Stephanie Zavala type things right now, and that's great. Danielle McEwen and Misaki Mukatani both had extraordinarily good first blocks. 5 and 1 for Misaki, and Danielle went 4 and 2. If you win a lot of games, you pick up a lot of pins, you're going to make a big move. And Danielle went, I think, from 11th to 5th. So she closed a pretty big gap. She was 100 out of the show, and in 2 games completely shut that gap down. And now she sits 16 out of the show. So Danielle looking to build off of some momentum she had last week or the previous week, where she won a doubles title with EJ Tackett at the Lucy. And after having struggled the first tournament, has found a little bit of her mojo this event. Looking to build some of that momentum. And what a way to start the day off. Stephanie Zavala, an important match for Danielle to get some momentum here and get things moving. Looks like she's going to be throwing some urethane as well. It seems like the move is to start in the urethane and then kind of go from there. I think Stephanie Zavala as well. I'm getting an eye on. Let me see what ball she's throwing.
I'm gonna guess if I was her, I would take the ball I've been using the whole time, and I would have carried it with me during the lunch break just to make sure.
No, absolutely.
So
I think it's that honey badger urethane.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The asymmetric urethane ball. You might as well just call it the voodoo spell because it looks so perfect. She hasn't really had to change much. She doesn't have to really adjust a ton, just kind of follow her oil. And she's been in the pocket pretty much the entire time. Hasn't gotten off necessarily to a fast start, more of a metered start. And then, she pulls the ripcord and she doesn't look back. So I think she'll do the same thing here.
199 to kick off the previous match play round. She did collect a victory, though. And then all of a sudden it was 250, 240, 210, 220, 220 the rest of the way out. So, yeah, definitely got settled in after that first game. We will settle in by going full screen here. Boom. Just like that. And, looking at the top four right now, once again, top four make the stepladder finals for tonight. Zavala at plus 624 has some room to work with. So if there's anybody who, can take, I'm not going to say take a couple frames off, but who could have, maybe a not so great game, it's her right now. Plus 624. She's 119 pins ahead of second place, which is Verity Crawley. Verity, outside of one crazy, odd, weird game that we watched here on Bowl TV. Her other games in the block, she started off with a 255. Then she had that 158, which had back-to-back gutters on first shots. One of those was working on a couple of strikes. She had some spare shooting woes, and then all of a sudden, she shook all that off, said, I'm still Verity Crawley, and I'm awesome. I do cool things. Then she rattled off games of 250, 226, 232, and 239.
Yeah.
Plus 505.
I have a confession, Aaron Smith. I'm going to take credit for that because I forgot that I possessed her body in the second game, and it was really me bowling, hence why she missed all the spares and put 2 in the channel. So that is my apocalyptic power, but only in game 2s of match play rounds that fall on a Saturday. That's the only time I can do it. So
all right.
Very limited.
And then someone's up for a doozy coming up next game. But Verity, that final game moved ahead of Jen Higgins, who bowled phenomenal throughout the course of the block. Jen at plus 503. So we got plus 600 at the top and then some low plus 500s in second and third. And that drops all the way down to Misaki Mukutani, who's at plus 409. So that gap between 3 and 4, something to just have in the back of your head. So for Stephanie, Verity, and Jen, they got a little bit of a cushion to work with. But those bonus pins, they can sneak up on you fast, a bad game, whatever it may be. And we even saw that in the 4-5 battle a little bit earlier in the block where there was about an 80-pin gap between 4th and 5th. Then all of a sudden, one bad game in there, and there's about 5 people within 80 pins of the number. But as you mentioned, Danielle, the first player out, 16 back at plus 393. Brianna Cote, we're watching her right now. 45 back at plus 364. Then another bit of a gap. Kelly Kulik at plus 299. Ashley Rucker plus 276. And then Clara Guerrero, 137 out at plus 272 and 9th. Going even farther back, really going to need to put on the afterburners here. Stephanie Schwartz plus 222. Shannon O'Keefe plus 220. And Sandra Gongora plus 184.
Danielle McEwen, really like her angle of the pocket against Stephanie here. And like I said, Stephanie, she struggles in that first game. She just got to get through this one. She's got some pins to give up, obviously. You don't want to look back. You don't want to put your foot on the brake. You don't want to just set it on cruise control. And I don't think she's not the type, and we saw that in New York. She had plenty of pins and plenty of cushion, but just continued to press and press and press and press to get as many pins as she could going into the lead, and made a really difficult pattern look really easy, and a nice cover there by Stephanie. And she'll get it figured out. It's not like all of a sudden anything has changed, obviously the pattern will play a touch flatter, the whole, you lay down a pattern on the top of itself over a period of time, it'll play a little flatter, but in the ITRC, it already plays flat. So she'll be fine. She'll be good. It's a good opportunity though here for Danielle to pick up some pins and insert herself in that top 5, depending on what Musaki and Jen do. Well, really, honestly, it's you're looking at a big gap between 5 and 3, but as we have seen, that gap can come slamming shut. And right now, Jen Higgins 7 pair, spare, 7 spare, 7 spare, 7 2 through 4. So she has a 60 in the fourth. Not really making it to the pocket, but sends one into the pocket there with a nice strike. Mukotani, I should probably say, try to get it right. 9 spare, strike, 9 spare. So keeping it clean against a very tough opponent. And as Danielle rattles off a 3-bagger to take a pretty powerful, pretty convincing lead early in this game, Aaron.
Taking advantage of a few early miscues from Zavala. Once again, 30 bonus pins for a victory, 15 if you happen to tie your opponent, 0 in defeat. So 180 extra pins out there this round, 6 games.
It's very weird. You have the top 5 bowlers are being very selfish with their wins. There is a atomic drop off after 5th place in win percentages, and only one player being at least 500. Brianna Cote was having a really, really rough go of things early, kind of righted the ship there late and rattled off a couple of victories. She's bowling Stephanie Schwartz, as you can see right here at 5 and 6. Wow, an open there, a little baby split she missed there. She had a chance to really kind of jump on top of that match. And a little mental mistake there from her is going to keep Stephanie with the advantage. And Stephanie and the other Stephanie, Zavala, another 7 count here. And that too looks kind of off spot there. Or maybe it's just my parallax error.
Well, T-Mac looking in good shape here to continue strong and end Stephanie's run of victories here. As we mentioned, 6-0 and no problem on the spare. Another player a little bit farther back who's off to a strong start, who could use a big pop here in the early going. Kelly Kulik on 11 and 12, taking on Shannon O'Keefe. Both players bowling well, but Kelly still has 277 out there. We mentioned her being 110 pins back of the cut. So with Misaki kind of filling frames, but not striking too much. Brianna has got that open up there. She's in a close match. Danielle looks like she's in position to gain some pins and get the win, but Kelly could be the big benefactor here in game 1 if she keeps it up.
Mugotani just left the 4-7-10 and cleared 2 out of it. So a pretty decent game turned quickly. And she's looking at maxing out at 227 now. That's if she clears the sheet. Kelly just had looks like a 9-pin. So she struck in the 8th, 9-pinned in the 9th. Now she can bowl 256. So Shannon O'Keefe is looking at a 239. Not a bad game, but obviously Kelly is in control of this match. She could put a little pressure here on Kelly if she clears the deck here in the 9th and the 10th. Make her work for it at least a little bit.
Of course.
That's a big double there for Stephanie Schwartz, one of our PTQ qualifiers. It's good to see a couple of those bowlers, 3 of those bowlers here in this top 12. Stephanie Schwartz, Ashley Rucker, and Misaki Mukotani, all coming from the PTQ.
Ashley and Misaki also qualifying for the Bowl TV Classic coming up on Monday and Tuesday to wrap up the Summer Classic Series. And folks, Curtis has been talking about all this great bowling going on around us. And if you're watching on Bowl TV now, you already know you can go through our navigation and actually pick to watch every single pair in play here at the Summer Classic Series. So you can follow your favorite athlete for literally every single shot they have across the house here at the ITRC. For the folks who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, hello. Glad you can join us here and checking things out. We're going to be here for game number 1. So we're already past the halfway point, moving into the final few frames.
TikTok.
And if you want to continue watching beyond game 1, and we got that stepladder finals tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the IBC Classic, you're going to have to subscribe to Bowl TV.
Misaki Mukotani, 5 split in the 7th. She covers it. You can see it on the very edge of your screen. She needs to cover it in order to stay realistically in the 200s. And she has given Jen Higgins an advantage here. Late going. So some issues, and you can see the cover right there. Nice conversion. You can see that this thing can get away from you quick, and no lead is safe.
Zavala looking at another potential open here in the 8th. So gonna see if she can hit the 2 over there. Does not connect. Drops her max into the 180s. So Danielle McCune has already won this match.
Yes,
so the first loss for Zavala, but once again she can afford a small hiccup like this with the lead she has built.
The house that Stephanie builds is straw. So, and do you think she's panicking? No, not even a little bit.
No, the poise she's shown here in her rookie campaign has been very impressive. Her performances in the stepladder finals, especially facing her win in Cleveland early on, she faced an early open against Brianna Cote. Obviously, Brianna, a experienced player on this tour, a champion on this tour, was looking for her second title of the season at that point. And for some players, that's an early open will quickly derail you in that sense, especially if that's your first time. She was the top, first time bowling for a title, and was able to come back, bounce back, strike, put the pressure on, and get the victory.
And Kelly Kulik going to pick up the victory, early victory here. She needs she needs 3 pins in the final 2 shots. Let's go ahead and count it as a certainty that she's going to pick that one up. She's in at 236. Actually, no, she's already won. So she can bowl 256 here and pick up 86 pins with the bonus. That'll cover some ground pretty quickly, as Mukotani can max out at 210, but she can also get the victory here against Jen Higgins.
Jen's max 188.
Yeah, so Jen's at least given 12 up. Mukotani can pick up a decent amount toward her. And just like that, that 100-pin buffer you thought you had, all of a sudden it's gone. Just like that, blink of an eye.
Trouble for Danielle here, 9th frame. 4, 6, 7. Has the match in hand, but once again with some of the bigger scores and chasing the number. You want to get what you can get when you have it. Nice cover there by Stephanie Schwartz, 212, her max score. So Cote in a position now to
pull that one
get this
out.
victory.
Yeah.
224 her max score. So if Schwartz would strike, she would need the strike 9 spare would be enough.
Yeah, that it would put her at 13.
Some other updates from across the house. Sandra Gongora is going to get the victory against Verity Crawley. Sandra's going to be in the 230s, 237 it looks like, and Crawley can max out at 198. However, if she doesn't get the first hit in the 10th, that max will drop to 178. Ashley Rucker's going to get a win. She can still get into the 230s against Clara Guerrero. We talked about the Kulik and O'Keefe match, 256 to 228.
Stubborn 7-pin.
We've had a lot of those
Yes.
over both of these events so far. It's been a common theme.
The kind of a best case scenario for the chasers right now. You have Zavala, Crawley, Higgins, and Mukotani not bowling their best games. Musaki can now only bowl 197.
So that would be the high game out of the top four.
That is, and fortunately for Musaki, she's bowling Jen Higgins, who can only bowl 178. So if Musaki keeps it clean here, all she needs to do is keep it clean. She just spare and fill some pins. She will beat Jen Higgins to minimize the damage from a kind of a lethargic first game.
Cote did get the first hit in the 10th, and 9 spare here will be enough. Sneak out 30 extra.
There's 9.
There's the 9. So she's got 15 at least, but once again, a player on the outside trying to get in. Take the extra 15 and run.
I know that we had a week where she missed a 10-pin in the final frame of her game to end up being in a tie to make the cut, and ended up losing that game.
That was against Valerie Bercier, I believe.
That was. Just goes to show you how important a pin here is, a pin there is. And then Aaron, you gotta think that after you miss that pin, yeah, you miss that spare, but you got to think about all the other wood you left on the table throughout the day. One break goes your way, or mental lapse here, chop a split here.
Yeah, it's certainly easy to point at the things that happen at the end of the block, but yes, over the course of whether it's 9 games, 6 games, 12 games, whatever it may be, the odds are that wasn't the first miscue you've had along the way.
Mr. Hindsight comes swooping in.
Look at us go.
Look at us.
So McKeown with 223. So that is going to put her now. That's 416 with the pins plus the 30. So plus 446. Mukotani 187 plus the 30 for the victory. So she'll add 17 to her total. So she'll be at plus 426. So it looks like Danielle will jump ahead here and into the top 4. Just like that. Business picking up here at the IBC Classic. And folks, with the conclusion here, 223 to 160. Danielle over Stephanie. We're going to take this opportunity. If you're watching on BullTV.com, you're already all set to watch the final 5 games to determine our top 4 for tonight's stepladder finals at 9 p.m. Eastern time here. But for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to be taking the stream down from those 2 particular sites. So you'll have to head over to BullTV.com, but a few different subscriptions you can look at. You can pick up an event ticket to watch for the rest of the day, $8.95. If you want to watch the rest of today, the regional tomorrow, and then the Bull TV Classic on Monday and Tuesday, you can pick up a pass for $19.95. 3 stepladder finals in there. If you want to pick up a monthly recurring subscription to Bull TV, which allows you not only to watch the live content like we're watching right now, but to also watch the archived events and on-demand content available on the site, you can pick one up for $9.95. So definitely a great deal to check that out. Monthly recurring subscription, $9.95. And then the best way to support the PWBA Tour, an annual subscription, $79.95. Get to watch the rest of the PWBA Tour here in 2021 and into 2022 as well. Transaction fees do apply. And of course, we have giveaways as well, along with the great Bull TV community. During the stepladder finals tonight, just as a heads up, we're going to be giving away 3 brand new bowling balls. So you have to be on Bowl TV to be able to enter for a chance to win 3 brand new bowling balls. But folks, we're going to take this opportunity. If you're watching on Bowl TV, we're going to take a quick reset. For the good folks on Facebook and YouTube, we hope to see you over on bowltv.com. Everybody hang tight. Game 2, PWBA International Bowling Campus Classic, coming up next here on Bowl TV.